This is the Round Table. This is the Round Table.
Friday morning, Friday evening. My name is Aguko. It's a pleasure being with you on this fantastic day. This is the Round Table. And of course, we are coming to you live from the Obama Voice of Salvation and Healing Church International Church grounds. A very warm welcome to you. I hope that you're well. Well, in today, this evening's conversation tonight, show is all about matters concerning youth and relationships. That's right. Many of you asked for it, and of course today we decided to bring this to you. What do youths consider when choosing a partner? What do you consider before making that lifelong decision on that person that you believe to be Mr. Right or Mrs. Right? Today, let's have this conversation right here on the round table. I am with a fantastic panel today. You will love them. To my far left, I am with Pastor Carol Ben. Karibu sana. And you use your mic there. And of course, next to him is Brian Randiga. Karibu sana. And of course, I am with Harriet Achieng. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
And I am with Barrack Okeyo. Karibu sana.
Thank you.
All right. And of course, this is the round table. We hope that you are already set up for this particular conversation. Ask your questions. If at all you have something that you'd like to learn. And of course, if you have any thoughts, share your opinion and your thoughts as you continue with this evening show on our Facebook page. We are live on our Facebook platform. That's at Aguko, my page, and the church page. That's at Obama VOSH Church International. The round table is, of course, proud to be here this evening. Let's break those barriers. Let's ensure that we highlight what youths want, because this is the place where you have a voice. And of course, let us know where you're watching us from. We shall sample your feedback a bit later on during this evening show. All right, so let's kickstart this conversation. And of course, I want us to start from a general perspective by understanding there are so many myths that are there, ladies and gentlemen, and we want to break them up. But first things first, I want to start from the perspective of what we miss. What is it that we do that is a wrong move when it comes to choosing a partner? Before we say, I consider this, I consider that, the things that most youths or the common mistakes youths make when choosing a partner. And let me start with you, Pastor Carol Ben, when it comes to this particular issue here. What are those common mistakes youths make when it comes to choosing a partner?
Thank you so much, Ram. Given that I'm a youth pastor and I've interacted with a lot of youths, both at the level of where they're born again and some probably in the world, I think the mistake that the youths make is allowing the societal norms to define what they want in a man or what they want in a woman. And society changes, culture changes, things are moving every other day. If it's fashion, it changes. But one thing that I know that is constant and will never change is the word of God. So when youths try to base it on the societal norms or what the society defines to them as a good man or a good woman, then I think that is where they miss the whole point of it.
Okay. And what are these things that you're talking about when you say societal norms?
When I talk about societal norms, I talk about what has been defined to you by your parent, by your auntie, by your uncle, how a good man is. A good man must have a Range Rover. A good man must have money. A good man must have this and that. Like so many things that according to them or what they have experienced in life is good. You get? But in real sense, some of us started in this life without those things, but they came along the way. So it means that whatever the society defines for us should not be what we use to define who we want in life or in future.
Okay.
Yes.
You open remarks. Let me come to you, Brian. Yes.
Okay, I agree with what Pastor Carol is saying.
Yes.
And just to add on top of what she's saying is that the mistake that we make is to allowing our desire to make a choice for us. You see, then you feel like I should be living with this person without considering some other factors.
But isn't a desire something that you consider? Because you will say, as a young person, I desire this kind of a character. I desire this kind of a lifestyle. I see he works there and I desire such. So you're saying choosing what you desire is wrong?
It's not wrong. It depends on how you look at it. You see, the desire, sometimes as young people, maybe you look at a lady because maybe you have seen the lady, you are feeling like this person should be part of my life, or you think bedwise. You see that? So when you have desired, so you will start thinking towards that, not knowing that marriage is not only about bed, it's not only about what you have seen, it's the lifetime thing.
Okay, okay. Let me skip that. Come to you. What do men, okay, what do you consider as an individual when it comes to choosing a partner? You as Barrack, you're saying that as an individual, these are the things that is my, like a checklist.
Yes.
That you say, if someone meets this particular criteria, then good, fit to be a partner, mark of quality.
First of all, I want to say thank you for inviting me in this forum that we're discussing. I want to say, being that I am born again and I am a child of God, I want to say first thing that I should consider when identifying a partner. I desire in my life that I find a partner who is also godly wise. Okay. Somebody who knows, who understands the basic, that she is full of the gospel of God and also has the same spiritual matter like me. At the same time, I will also look at the attraction. Attraction come.
You're saying the fear of God for one?
The fear of God comes to be first.
Attraction.
Attraction. Because I know once you are attracted to somebody, you will be able to align other characters that are required to see in this person. You will be able to see some of the features that God has defined for you towards the person. So first is godly wise. She has to know God. And the next thing is attraction. Attraction is a key to me. And again, I would like to look at the standard. Standard, what I mean by standard is that to enable me resonate with the person and understand the kind of a partner that I want to live for long, because this is a life moment thing. And I would not like to make any mistake as an individual. Because in any capacity that I make mistake, I may find myself regretting for some purpose. So for me to look at the standard of the person and see if we can align ourselves with the core values that I have as an individual. So standard, that comes with education, other things that she may also be part and parcel of me.
All right. So those are the things. If they fear God, and they're beautiful, and there are those standards in terms of education.
Education comes into it. That one is one of the ways that I will look for a lady for.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So wasichana umesikia. Haya, hiyo tumewacha hapo. Let me come to you. And Pastor Carol, you tell us whether these are standards that people ought to subscribe to. What do you consider as a lady when it comes to choosing a life partner?
First, I'd begin by saying that the issue of considering a partner is as unique, as selfish, and as individual as self. There's no direct answer that works for everyone. So given that is said, I think for me it's just three basics. One, I'd say attraction, where under attraction I'd say the physical. I have to like what I'm looking at. I have to like what I see.
Okay.
Two, I'll say attraction to qualities. That is things like character, things like personality. Yeah, personality that someone has. You see qualities. People talk of someone who's understanding, someone who's caring, someone who's supportive. After that, I'd look at chemistry as number two. Because it's easy. Given in a room, you can look at someone and like them. They can have you can walk into a room and you'll find 5 people who are caring, but when you lack that chemistry, that bond, that
how can chemistry be described in good terms?
You're saying that spark.
That spark.
I don't know if it exists. I only know that many ladies talk about that, but I've never heard men talk about it. Interestingly,
Yes.
so a spark that connects the two.
Yes, something that connects. You know, where you can have conversations flowing, you can have sharing of ideas freely. I feel like that is something we can call chemistry. That ease or openness that you feel with someone.
Okay.
Then 3, the fear of the Lord, which is very important. Keeps us in check, keeps us in line.
You're saying the chemistry part is not what you consider?
No. That one is also a possibility of considering that. Yeah, but to me, I will not say that I will consider the chemistry part so much. According to my understanding in what she was trying to say in the chemistry part, that is to mean if she was talking about bonding to one another, I can describe that as a best friend for somebody. If you have a kind of a good friend who you can relate on other issues, apart from that. But to me, I don't consider chemistry as a key.
All right. Now, let's break it up now. We need, yes, you want to say something?
No.
All right. Let's break it up and give different examples. One, we have youths who say that just because so and so is my best friend, then they fit to be a partner. Is that a gozo, a yes, a thumbs up, or a thumbs down? People say that marry your best friend. They say that, and they say when choosing a partner, you'd say marry your best friend. Is that something that we should be considering, Brian?
Yes, that's a good question, Ram. I think just to refer from the book of Genesis, 6 from verse 2. The Bible says that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they saw that they were beautiful, and they took them as their wives. You see, in this case, sometimes you might not have time to make friendship or to make somebody to be your best friend. In most cases, you will realize that the day you see your partner, you will be disturbed in a way, even if she is a best friend or not. You'll just get something is attracting you to that person. So to me, it's not a must for that person to be a best friend. Friendship you will make as the time goes. Thank you.
So you can say that because we are not friends, we cannot date. Friendship unajenga as you continue. Is that really applicable in real life? Let's talk it real. Tuseme tu kweli. Inaweza fanyika?
Yes, the truth is, friendship will come from the beginning of communication.
Yes.
Sometimes you see a partner. Let's say you go to a seminar or you met somewhere and you see this lady. You have just identified a lady somewhere. Then you say, this lady, I think we should talk. To you, already you have seen that this lady can be a good person. So from that point, the friendship will begin if that lady will accept to talk to you. So it doesn't begin with the friendship, or it is not mandatory for friendship to begin it. Friendship will catch up with it.
Mamba BFFs tuachana nayo. Yes.
I picked so many points that I wanted to talk about, but anyway, let me just respond to this one that you've asked.
Yes.
The truth is, I married my best friend, so let's start from there.
You married your best friend?
Yes, I did.
And how? And
I agree.
How many years?
For like 2 years.
Of being friends?
Yes. And I want us to understand this, is that I totally agree with Brian when he says that friendship comes. I totally agree with that. Why? Because there must be a point of meeting. The point of meeting might not be friendship. We might have met in a convention. Our guys, I know, meet in conventions. That's the truth. They might have met somewhere. We might have just met, like a friend of a friend of a friend. We met in somebody's birthday. You see, and that point of meeting probably struck a conversation or struck something. And then now that's where now you try and start building a friendship from
Yes.
there. But what I want to say is that given that I am clocking 11 years in marriage today, I want to tell you that that spark we are talking about sometimes goes down.
Wow.
And what you need at that point when it is not there is that friendship. When I say friendship, this is what I mean. The intimacy might not be there. And let me demystify something that these youths think, that every other time, you know that bedside thing you're thinking, it's never there like every day. There are those days that it's not there. But what remains is this: can we talk about any other thing? Talk about everything. I always tell my youths this: talk about everything, anything, and nothing. That is your best friend. I mean, somebody that you can talk about with everything, anything, and nothing.
And at what point do you say somebody is your best friend? Because many find this to be very complicated, and that's why if you'd ask them, who is he to you? The response will be, it's complicated. We don't know. And some youths will even ask them, their friends, by the way, who are we?
Let me just connect that to, I remember Barrack talking about attraction.
Yes.
And I want us to understand that there's two levels. Men are the way you guys are wired. You see, the Bible says, you know, you're the one who find us. You find women, right? So
Yes.
it means that there's that grace to see, Cindy, and
Yeah.
to find us.
Yes.
And there are two levels of attraction here. There's that attraction that will take you to the bedroom, but there's that attraction that will be like, I love being in your space. So you see, so there's that of I just love being in your space and get to know you, and there's that where I just want to get a fling, and when we are done, that's it.
That's it,
It's
yeah.
temporal. So that is flesh, and that is where I always encourage people that we have to be careful to listen to the Holy Spirit, because there are desires that he was talking about. There's the desire of the mortal, the flesh.
Yes.
And then there's the desire of the spiritual connection that might be there when we make this happen. So until youths will be able to know that in this particular situation, I think this is just a fling or a lust that is coming and will go, or this is something that can go further. If I sit with you and I don't feel like we need to go to the bedroom, but we need to be friends here, and maybe later on, if things work, we can go, then I think we are in the right stage.
Now, all right.
Yeah.
Let me come to you, Barrack, and of course you can have a response to that. As you do so, let us know. What do you think about this aspect of someone saying, we connect easily, but we don't feel the same for each other? The feelings are one-sided. Yes.
Okay, just on the same note, my sister was talking about friendship. I want to say that I support it that you find your best friend. But again, if you check biblically, you know that is what resonates outside there in the society. That if you find a best friend whom you can talk to, you can say everything to, that is the person that you're supposed to get married to.
Yeah.
But again, when you come biblically, I believe that the Word of God says that in Genesis chapter 2, verse I think 15 or somewhere, that God himself had already seen man, that it is not good for a man to be alone. And when this was already identified spiritually by God himself, when God has a plan for you and you are filled with the Holy Spirit and you are planting yourself to the marriage position, God himself will bring for you a partner that you can at the same time be a friend of that partner when you're already married. That can happen sometimes.
I don't know. Brian, is that?
Yeah, you don't need to wait as an individual that, okay, I can be working with this person as a good friend and a very good friend, but there is something that the will of God does not allow you to go and marry the same person. We can be very good friend, we can talk everything, talk something, and you find yourself there is one thing that will not align you with this person.
So the Christian of saying that just because you're friends, it doesn't mean we can get married to each other.
Yeah, that one should not happen that way. You can wait to a position that when you get married to this person and truly it was divined for the two of you to be together, you'll find yourself making friendship even in the relationship, even in the place of marriage. And when you come to understand each other going forward, you will become his friend.
Is that true, Brian? Is that true?
Yes, I support what he's saying.
Because you're married, you'll tell us if that person is your best friend in the first place.
In fact, just from what you asked, that how do we find best friend?
Yes.
You know, best friend, they connect, like she said. Best friend, they communicate. You'll find your communication will be like it flows. So after your communication, you realize that there are some things you agree, because marriage is all about agreement. And the more you talk, the more you share ideas, that is how you get close, and there is where the best friend is coming.
All right. And your response to that? Do people build friendship after marriage?
Yes, they should. You see, you know what, Ram? There's one thing we need to understand is that there's the level of friendship we shall have before marriage. Then there's another level of friendship we shall have when now we are two people in this house. Because, trust you me, the person who will hurt you the most is this person you're living with under the roof. And when you say about friendship, it means that that level of where I was still in my mom's house and you're still in your father's house. Yes, we were friends, but trust you me, there were certain boundaries that were never crossed. But when you get into marriage, trust you me, there are boundaries that will be crossed. But then now that is where the true test of friendship comes into place.
All right.
And just to also respond to something that Barrack said, I totally agree. Friendship is not just the sole reason as to why you get married to someone. There's so many things that also come at play. You know, it's not just, I can be friends with so many people, you know. But then again, I know how my limits to every level of friendship, and I know which one will lead to what.
All right.
Yes.
Just because you're friends doesn't mean we need to get married.
Exactly. It's not the sole reason.
All right. Harriet, your response to that about friends, would you marry your best friend?
I would marry my best friend, but it's not always the case. You can have many friends, but sometimes it's about the debate of what you want versus what you need. Because sometimes you see someone, you feel like you're attracted, you want, there are so many things. But the question is this what you really need? As you look back to yourself, as you look back to your purpose as an individual, and even to God's purpose, is this what you really need? So that's why it's not always that every friendship has to cross that line and make someone a partner or make it a relationship.
But still on you, there is this perspective. Yeah, we are talking about what youths consider when choosing a partner. Let's look at the jobs and careers. This is a career line. You'll find that some youths consider the career path of the person they want to marry. As I want to marry a doctor, or a potential doctor. Or if you ask them, what kind of a person would you like to marry or get married to? And that I want to marry somebody who is doing this particular course, that our interests should be the same in this kind of in this kind of field. Or some will say, Mimi, even if I like you, once I realize you are working with this particular group of people, that is the end of everything. I cannot get married to such kind of a person who works in such a kind of a place. Is that something that we should be considering? Career paths?
I feel like it doesn't have a direct answer, because for everyone, priorities are different. You know, priorities are different. For me, I'd look at maybe if someone is a pilot, I'd be considering they'll be out for this number of hours and things that come with the job.
Yeah.
But for someone, that will not be a problem. So it's about an individual. It's about what both of them can work on. It's not like a direct answer, because sometimes you can say, I can't work with this, but once you meet someone and you're able to make a connection, you're able to talk, you're able to move, and sometimes you even involve God and you find things are moving. So it's not always a direct answer to that.
But should we consider that kind of in terms of career? Should that criterion be there when choosing a partner?
I don't think the criterion should be there when choosing a partner.
Yes.
Unless we are talking about the aspect of money and finance.
No, here, but we are talking about just career, career-wise. That's because they're with the police. I know this kind of that is how their job is, or because this is a journalist, or this is an actor. Let's give, for example, in acting, you say, And this is what they do when they act. I cannot marry such kind of a person. Right.
Okay, just to respond on that. You see, Ram, when you are making a choice with conscious mind,
Yes.
sometimes you might fail to choose the right person. This is the reason why Adam was put into deep sleep when the wife was being brought. Because when he was in conscious mind, things could come, but he could not fall in love with them.
Uh-huh.
He could give them names, but he could not fall in love with them. But when he was in unconscious mind, that one, God took control, and Adam could make a right choice. When the wife came, when he woke up, he said, "This is the bone of my bone." But so what I can say about the career and many other things, it depends. If you are doing it and you are strict on it and it is not the will of God, it will not work for you.
Okay.
Yes.
Brian, Barrack?
Okay, same to me. I will support what my brother is saying, because I know and I understand very well that whatever God has planned for you, God will always reward his plans. God will always fund his plans. So according to your mindset, and if you know and you understand the reason why you're looking for a partner, it is not about your strength. If you align it with what God is planning for you, okay, you will not look at what the society. You know, the society has duped us with a lot of things, where you'll find that we tend to look at what does this person do? Does he earn this living? What kind of a job does he have? Is he of a qualified person like I want? Which also it can be a case of concern to other people.
Yeah.
But mostly in understanding of the gospel as well, if you understand the deep reason why you're looking for this partner, and you find yourself aligned to God's plan, God himself will reward you. If you check just in the Bible what my brother was saying, before even Eve herself was brought to Adam, God already provided everything in the Garden of Eden, and everything was already there.
But now let me get you.
Yes.
Here. Let me give an example. You own a barber shop.
Yes.
For those who don't know, it's called Barrister.
Yeah.
Somebody will hear, a lady will hear, who's the guy? Okay. What does he do? He owns a barber shop. What's the name of the barber shop? Barrister. Have you seen it? And then they check it out on Facebook, and they see, that could be a potential man. Your job has already attracted them to you. Is that something that is a turn-off?
And that is where you come on to the statement that we were saying. If all of you will not find yourself attracted to the same person, that is somebody you will not allow yourself to get into a partnership with. Because her own interest, she is only there for her own interest, not all of you compatible for your own interest.
If you heard that the lady you are with was attracted to you, the first thing that attracted her to you was that you are the owner of Barrister, would you turn your back on them?
Okay, I will not turn immediately back on them. Honestly speaking, one thing I wanted just to say is this: I will not turn back immediately to them, because something may attract us together as well.
Okay.
Which also can play a key role for me.
All right.
She may have been gotten the interest because I have a barbershop and something of that kind, but to me there is something that is going to attract me to her.
Yes, Pastor.
I would say this: do not depend on a career, because what if I want to marry an accountant, and like what COVID happened, that career is no more. Okay. So if it's your career that attracted me to you and it's no more there, do we really have a relationship? No, we don't. So for me, what I will say is this: I love when Barry is talking about when Adam was in the Garden of Eden. Adam was told, be there and tend the land. There's a purpose as to why he was there. He was given a vision and a purpose and everything before Eve came. And then God said that it was not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helper, fit
for him.
for him.
And
And in this, it means that when you talk about a helper, the only other person we can liken to a helper in the Bible is the Holy Spirit. So this is somebody who's coming to carry a vision that you already have, not about your career. So I would get attracted to a man who has a vision. Your career might be the way, the pathway to that vision, but it doesn't have to be that career that gets me attracted to you. But if your vision where you are headed to is something that can speak to myself and my purpose, why not? Let's see what the ride holds. Let's
Okay.
go. But I would not advise any youth to look at career when making a decision to choose a partner.
All right. Okay. All right. You have an input?
Yes, I feel like when you look at a career, it takes you away from the individual. It takes you away from the person. A career does not define someone. A career is just something that you're doing to earn a living, to sustain you.
Yeah.
Or it's something you're doing because you're passionate about it. But it takes you away from the individual. So now when you're thinking of marrying someone or being with someone because they have a certain career, it takes you away from the focus and what the principles that you're supposed to be looking for.
Or the other important things that actually matter.
Yes.
It clouds your judgment.
Yes.
All right.
It's
all right.
important, but I feel like it's secondary. It's not like something primary that someone should be looking at in the first instance.
Naona Baraka anacheka. Ni sawa. Let me give yet another example of which I had it being mentioned. Beauty. The outward appearance. I'm reminded of a verse that God does not look at the he looks at the is the beauty of a woman something that you as Brian considered when you're choosing your wife? And is the beauty of a man something that the handsomeness of a man something that ladies ought to consider? How should we gauge that? Barrack, Brian.
Okay, just from what I said from the book of Genesis 6 from verse 2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they saw their beauty, and they took them to be their wives. So you see, when you talk about seeing, it's all about beauty. So to me, beauty is considered.
Yes?
Yes.
All right, all right. Pastor Carol, let me touch on you. 11 years of marriage. You said, you're clocking that today?
Yes. No, in October I'll be clocking 11 years.
In October?
Yes.
11 years?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
His face.
Trust you me.
Is it as muy importante?
Of course. Let me tell you this, Ram. This is somebody I'm going to wake up and see every morning. Trust you me. I want to see something good.
You want to see something good?
Of course. So the thing is, the fact that, like we say, the fact that I can be even tolerated in your space, it means that at least I know if it's yakoneza, it's something that I can put up with.
You can survive with.
And this is the thing. Trust you me.
Yes.
No lady will just say yes to any man simply because I want to see their character, I want to see what. No. That is something we look into. Trust you me. I know your face will be funny in the morning when you wake up. That's fine. But at least I know when you freshen up, you'll still be good. But I want somebody who's handsome. Yes.
All right. Harriet?
Yes, I agree. You have to like what you see.
Sura muhimu.
You have to like what you see.
All right. Barrack?
To me, I agree. Beauty is a key factor that you should check on so much.
Let me give an example. And of course, this is in the public domain, so it's okay for me to mention this. But I'll not mention the specific name. But there is this couple who got married. The lady was so beautiful. But one day, she got into an accident. And her whole body was burnt. And that which was once considered to be beautiful by some was no longer beautiful. If we say that beauty does matter, what do you do when such a thing happens? And the beauty that that thing that you used to love when you wake up in the morning is no longer.
Okay, Ram, from your statement, you'll realize you said the lady was beautiful.
Yes.
when they were beginning it.
Yes.
And that is what attracted a man.
Asa
So you see,
imeharibika.
imeharibika. And you see, sura inaharibika at the moment they are in deep relationship. So it doesn't matter what happened after that. What matters is what attracted me to this person.
Now still no matter. And I'm coming to you, Pastor Carol. We are talking about what attracted you to this person. Her beauty did attract you to this person. We know during marriage, bodies change. The body of this woman that you married to, Randiga, yes. right now, she is slender and has a particular shape. But 10, 20, 30 years from now, after she has given birth to so many children, the body changes. What happens? That beauty, and we've seen marriages break because the man says, you are no longer as beautiful as I used to see you when you were younger.
Thank you. I would like to also say this, that there's also reality check here.
Yes.
But then again, you see, the moment you get attracted to somebody and see, oh, this is a handsome man, I'll not just get married to you as a sole reason of you being handsome. So many men are handsome here. So many men are handsome. I know some are handsome, but
yes.
none beats my husband anyway. But they're handsome. But they're handsome outside here. But will I marry all of them because they're husband? No. There is one thing. There is that boundary that we moved into, that space that we moved into with this handsome man of mine, that now made us even closer. Because when the Bible says, you know, I stress the part that he says, help her who is fit. The fit part is what she was talking about. There's the fit part that we should not forget about. Yes, I get attracted to you, but then again, there are those steps that we take even before we commit to saying that till death do us part. You know, there's a journey that you're going to take. And so when these things happen, like right now, I don't fit in my gown anymore. Yes, I know I'm still slim, yes, but I no longer fit in my gown. So it means that there are some changes that have taken place in my body. You get? I might have stretched much. I carried twins. You know, that's not easy. I'm whooping 5 kgs. So there are certain things that are happening in my body that were not there in 2011 when my husband was getting married to me. But trust you me, because there's a friendship, there's something that we have created here in our journey of 11 years that just not my beauty can break when I get burnt today and something happens to my face. Or I get baby fat and now I no longer have the figure 8. Because there's more that we have built than just the beauty.
Another thing, yet another example, family. Is family a factor when a youth is considering a partner? Do you consider their family? Barrack.
Wow. I would say is one of the factor that has challenged most of the youth as well. To me, I consider family.
Yes.
Family into mean that the background check of this person, where she or he is coming from, is a concern. Because there are things, just what I was trying to say is that if you are truly into the spirit and you are really looking for this partner of yours, when you are genuinely into, you are looking to the partner and the Holy Spirit is guiding you correctly. If family is a concern, God will direct your path to the right place.
All right.
You will find things that God will try to tell you, no, run away from this person. You may look at the family and check that these people have personality of I want to be in this family because I see their category of life, whatever they're doing. So outside there, I will also be of the same character. But you realize if something draws your mind, spirit-wise, you will find there is a detection of something that will tell you, no, this is not the right direction to follow. But family is also a concern, very much concerned.
But you see, even as we talk, let me put a disclaimer. We don't choose the family we get born into. Yes, Harriet.
Yes, it's true. We don't choose the family we get born into. And while choosing a partner, I feel like family is also important, because family determines, especially for ladies, since you're the one marrying into that family.
Yeah.
So it's important that you're marrying into a family where you feel like you'll be accepted, where you feel like there'll be cohesion in terms of beliefs and how people do things, you know, in terms of background as well. I feel like family is important.
Okay.
But that brings us to a point where sometimes you can have a debate of the individual you're marrying versus the family. So if what happens when you find this is an individual you feel you're comfortable with, but the family not so much, and what happens when you find the individual is not what you're looking for, but the family is a solid family with a solid background. Now
tell us, what will you do? What would you do as a person? And as you talk about that, you're letting us know, I like this man, but I don't like the family. I don't like the brothers, I don't like the sisters, I don't like the the family where they, but the man is a very good man. What do you do as a woman, as a youth?
that is tough. I feel like there's serious need for prayer. There's serious need for prayer and guidance. And guidance, and guidance. Because sometimes you cannot always just be turning your back because you see a few challenges ahead. Nothing comes easy. So sometimes it's about seeking that guidance and seeking that direction so that you don't rush to run away, yet this is something that God ordained for you.
Yes, it's very important to consider the family partly, because the family where somebody is coming from or the background will contribute to the life of the partner. And you will also realize that some of the problems that Solomon had was to marry from another place, which God did not even want Israelites to do. So when you are choosing a marriage partner, it's very important to know the family where you are marrying this person from, because the background will follow this person.
What if you don't like their family? Do you leave? Because you are still a young man, you are still choosing who you're going to marry. Do you leave?
It depends on your considerations at first, because in the first approach you will ask about where this person is coming from.
Okay.
Yes.
Pastor Carol?
For me, I think when you say family, it's a bit wider.
Yes.
Because first and foremost, if your brother doesn't like me simply because he sees me and doesn't like me.
Yes,
I mean,
you have those siblings that wanakuambia wanasema ukipata mtu mlete kwangu ni vetting.
Exactly. And I want to say this out of respect to my in-laws.
Yes.
And the honest truth and from my own experience, Ram.
Yes.
I also faced those challenges when I was getting married to this family.
Wow.
And I was getting married to somebody who's a total orphan who's been raised by uncles. So the uncles had a say in the kind of woman they would expect him to marry.
Wow.
But somehow, maybe I did not fit those qualifications. But I thank God, because this is the time that when that perfect fit happens, then because this is the person whom you love, who is between you and the family, this is the only person who can bring peace and create a bridge between you and the family.
Wow. Wow.
Because if your brother thinks I am not good enough or there's something about me that is not good, the only person who can demystify that from his thoughts or mind is this person who is bringing me now to this family. And so when we talk about fit, that is what we're talking about. I'm talking about somebody who will know me for me and will be able to stand in the gap and say, you know what? You don't know this lady you're talking about. You think about her this way, but I know this is how she is. And that is what my husband did. He actually stood for me and said, you know what? You people think this, but I know the kind of person that I'm marrying. So I think at this point, this is the time that when you talk about fit and chemistry, you're talking about somebody who will accept you for you, and you know who you are and your identity, and somebody who can stand in the gap and say, I am protecting you from my family. You are a cover. As a man, by the way, because I'm coming to your family, you are supposed to be my cover. Even right now when I'm getting into your family. Cover me.
Kuna mtu akona jambo la kuongeza before I move on? Right. Now I want us to move to go to Facebook and sample. Wow. Hey, today Facebook is booming. We have Julius Otieno Juma anasema, career should be a consideration but not a major one. There are consequences that come with certain careers that one might need to be aware of way in advance before making a choice. Take the case of a long-distance truck driver. This guy will pick a truck and drive from Mombasa to Zambia and back, and probably be on his trip for a fortnight. So you need to be aware of this. Then you choose. Right? We have someone saying choosing a partner requires these requirements that you set for yourself, but moreover, the Spirit of God to guide you, loving the show. Thank you. Some of this good debate. Congratulations watching the show. Liz Osodo and some congratulations, Pastor Carol, getting you well. The topic is so good for the young ones. More grace. Asante sana. Maurice Ohenga Nasama, there is something that attracts you to a person, but it might not be the same thing that keeps you together. Do you agree with that?
Deep.
That's
something that attracts you to the person but does not keep you together. Yes, that might be true.
Yes, it might be true.
Yes, I'm looking at it this way. If Figanana is what is keeping you attracted to this woman, I'm just thinking in my head, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And for you, the foundation of your relationship is the Figanane, you know. And things might happen. If the Figanane goes, then it means that it will no longer be there. But then again, if I'm sorry, let me just say this in there, because you know, I before I got married, before I got born again, I was also in the world, and there's a way I would look at relationship then that changed when now I got into salvation and when I got born again. And then you'll find that there are certain things that ule ni mtu wa kunipeleka Kingeles. That is just somebody mwenye anaomoka tu, you know. Ule ni wa kuchomoa tu na kunitreat. That thing keeps you attracted to that person. But it can never make you get married and stay with this person.
All right. Opondo Julian anasema family history is very important when choosing a partner. I don't think if it is a must for someone to be born again. Let's talk about that. All right. And then, of course, I don't know. We have an audience today, kama kawaida. If there is somebody who has a question, I'll only give an opportunity to only one because of the interest of time. Only one. So Humphrey, be ready, and then I'll give you that chance. Let's talk about salvation. Is salvation an important factor when choosing a partner? Barrack.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That is very important. When choosing a partner, salvation is a very key factor.
Why?
The reason why I'll say salvation is more of the key factor. Relationship started with in heaven, where you find the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. That starts from the relationship. That was a first key start. And when it started, when God had already taken charge of this, God himself took chance of putting Adam and Eve together. By putting them together, he had to plant Adam to some place. He had to put Adam to a place where they will be able to meet with Eve. And you find that biblically, you find that it all started with heaven itself. It all started with where the relationship started. Yes.
Yes. Salvation, an important factor or not?
Yeah, salvation is an important factor, because when you have a partner, especially when you're born again and your partner is not born again, there's a reason why the Bible talks about people not yoking with people not
light and darkness.
Yes, light and darkness.
Not unequally yoked together.
Now, for example, if I'm born again, I'm in the church, a partner who's not born again will not understand why I have to be going to church every Sunday, will not understand why I commit my Saturdays to youth meetings and I go to fellowships, and does not understand why he can't take a Saturday off, why he has to go out every Saturday to be doing whatever he's doing. So that's, I feel like that is a rift that will be causing lack of alignment.
All right. But I'm told time is not on our side, and sadly we have to bring this conversation to a close. Because it's because of time. We can continue this another day, but I want to give you a chance to have a final word, just 30 or 10 seconds each, just one word. Let me start with you, Pastor Carol.
For my ladies, I would
Yes.
like to tell them that if you're getting married to any man, or you want to get into a relationship to any man, please get married to somebody who has a vision, somebody who has somewhere where this person is headed to. you know, and it's easier for you to be a helper to a vision that is there. You know, you carry the vision together, you
All right.
be a helper to it. So get married to somebody who has a vision and somebody who knows where he or she is headed. He is headed to.
All right.
Okay, what I can say is that God will give you the person who looks like you, the same character and everything. So if you really need a good person, work on yourself and you'll get the perfect match.
All right. I would have asked another question, but timing. Okay. Yes.
For me, I'd say it's important to look back versus at what you want versus what you need. And again, I think something that I'll finish with is man or woman cannot live on beauty alone. So it's important to look at other things other than just beauty.
All right. Barrack.
To me, what I'll finish and say that as a youth and as you look for a partner, look for somebody who is a helper to you, whom you can move together with, because that is what stands for biblical nature, that you're looking for a helper. A helper who is fit, who is able to enable you, even run your visions, just the way my sister Pastor Carol was saying. So helper is a key.
All right, thank you so much. A very big thanks to Pastor Carol, Brian Randiga, Harriet Achieng, Onyango, and Barrack Okeyo. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me.
Thank you.
Asante sana.
Thank you.
That was good. We have not exhausted this thing. I still feel like kuna mingi that we have not yet touched, but of course we'll create time for another day. And of course, a big thanks to my audience here. That is here. Asante sana. Appreciate yourself, please. I know there is somebody who had a question, but because of time, we may not answer that, get into that. We'll have to bring this conversation to a close. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that tuned in. My name is Ram Aguko. See you again next week when it comes to this particular conversation. This is the Round Table. Have a good night.
This is the Round Table.